So, there's so many details with this. I'm scared to inundate a little bit, but if your elbow is back here, you're up on it, close to his elbow, meaning here's the space between his elbow and his shoulder. I want to be closer to this point, then I want to be closer to that point. So here, go, okay? So that's just a point on that one. Don't worry, we're going to come back to this, those two, the Kimura and the straight arm lock. So we're here, I fight, I take my grip, and straighten. From here, what guys will do is we want this thumb to be pointing in the sky to get the finish. If he turns his arm so his palm is facing the ceiling, it's a little bit harder for me to get the finish. And he starts bringing his elbow toward his hip, to get out. That's the common escape route from here. So I'm going, boom. Okay, so we're gonna deal with that now. So we're looking for our key lock, our Kimura, and he straightened his arm. And then we're looking for the Kimura, and now he turns his palm and brings his elbow in. So this is really important. I want to take my right elbow and try and get it against his ribs and his hip. Look, this is the ideal, but sometimes in the middle of the fight, we can't get that. But I want to be here, okay? So we're here looking for this, he straightens, boom, get that elbow here. Now I'm gonna hook like this, but I'm not really gonna have tension. It's gonna be more like this. See how I don't have tension, but I don't want his arm out either. So it's a hook. I control his wrist with my left hand. I'm gonna go over this again, all right. Control his wrist, put the back of his hand on the mat, grab my own wrist, so we're just going for a straight Americana. Okay, and in this one, again, there's pain on the back of the hand. What we want to do is draw a line down toward his feet while pulling his elbow in the air. All right, so let's go over that again. I was looking here, fighting, he straightened his arm. I was looking here, now he turns his palm. So I'm gonna have to make an arm switch from this arm covering to this arm covering, and then just have a hook. I don't have any tension with it. It's just so, try and pull your arm out. It's just so that I can keep him, okay, keep his arm. What I'm really doing is looking to fish to catch his wrist. And when I do that, like most arm martial in this situation, I try to get my head with my arm here so that I'm not doing this, because he can fight me here. Here I get a little more leverage. I plant his wrist on the floor, and I put his arm at a 90-degree angle, just like the Kimura. I grab my own wrist, and then I pull. I can already feel his left shoulder tension. I'm keeping his wrist on the mat. I draw a line, pulling so that the line goes from his hand to his foot, and then elbow in the air. So we're here. One. Oh, he messed up. I'm working. I try and take this, he straightens. So now I get this hook, and I'm fishing. Remember, this hook isn't creating tension. This is just to trap his arm. I'm fishing for his wrist. Head on my hand, put his hand on the mat, and then pull it down. I'm pulling it down this way, and at the same time I'm pulling the elbow up. So it's two motions at the same time. All right, again. So he messed up. So we trap and get in good position here so he can't push us away with that arm. When I'm here, I'm kind of floating over him. I make my switch. He straightens his arm, and then he brings it back. So here's the tricky part, is getting this switch going. We were here to finish a straight arm, but now we want the Americana. So we switch to our right, head on our arm or his arm. We're gonna plant his wrist on the mat, pull it down to his leg, and pull up. All right, again, we're here. We look for our Kimura grip. He straightens his arm, and then he starts bringing it in. So switch, hook here so he can't pull his arm out. Grab his wrist, plant it on the mat, and pull it down. All right. So you guys just worked that Americana from the mount, just because that's easier to demonstrate from. So when I plant his arm on the mat, boom, I want to make sure that my left elbow is next to his head, okay? I don't want it up here. I can't finish like this. It's not a great finish. So you put his hand, my palm goes against where his arteries are on his wrist, plants it on the mat. My elbow's next to his head. That's really important so he doesn't bring his hand in here, right? Try to bring that hand in. He can't, he's actually bringing himself into an Americana. So one, elbow next to the head. Two, I'm reaching under, grabbing my own wrist, and I'm torquing upward, okay, as I'm pulling down. What I'm seeing here a lot of is once you guys go here, this elbow's in the sky for a lot of you. It needs to be next to his head. Okay, and then for self-defense purposes, some guys like to tuck their head against their bicep so guys can't eye gouge them and stuff like that. But just make sure this elbow's tight. We're gripping with an overhand grip under his arm on top of my wrist. I'm pulling down and up. Okay, so don't make this mistake. I'm going here and be like this. You're never gonna finish here. He's gonna bring his hand tight into him to T-Rex, like that. And I'm not gonna get the finish. So once I get this in, elbow down. So I have two elbows that are blocking here. One elbow is blocking him if he wanted to bring his arm back in under me. And the second elbow is blocking it so he can't T-Rex. Boom, head down, pull it up. All right, so make sure this elbow is on the mat next to his head. All right, start here. We get up. One, I fight this, put it on the mat, switch to it, take it. I'm back down. Now he straightens it. Two, and then he brings it in. Three, all right? So we're here. And let me make a quick grip breaking note. If it's really difficult for you to get this arm, is I'll post off of his neck too, to try and get it. It's a little risky. All right, so one, we take our Kimura. Boom. Two, he straightens it. We're here, he's straightening his arm. So we take our straight arm lock. Three, he brings it back in. So we switch to our Americana. If you guys get real tricky and good, he's gonna straighten his arm from here. Two, three. So he never gets it back. Don't worry about that. That's for, I don't want to see you practicing that. That's just for your own thought. So, one, here, sliding back, one north south. One, straighten his arm. Two, three. All right, and now, when you guys are doing this drill, I don't want the hip switch, because I just want you guys to get used to attacking the arm. So what I mean by that is, once you get here, just look. One, he straightens his arm. Two, three. All right, so we're here. Go. We're going forward, he straightens his arm. On. Then he brings it back in. Two. So we're doing 3 arm locks. We're going for the Kimura. And then as we're getting ready to switch our hips, he straightens his arm. I don't really finish here, so 2, 3. All right? The point of this is that once a guy makes a mistake of defending himself here, is that now you own his arm, and no matter which way he puts it, down, straight, or up, you're always going to have an answer on what to do. Okay? So he never gets his arm back. This defensive mistake should win you the match if you're really good at trapping up this arm. Alright? So in the drill, we're here, go 1 to the Kimura, switch it, 1, and then I'm a good partner, so I straighten, get up on the elbow, 2, and then I bring it in, switch it up, yes, 3. Good. Alright, so let's see that.